Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome award-winning, multi-platinum country music icon and star of the upcoming Fox series Monarch, Trace Adkins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
Hey, buddy. Oh, well, you know, looking for some good. I don't know. I'm half paying attention, half not really. Let me tell you, they are fast and furious and don't ever stop. I think so, which, I mean, in reality, I would not be doing too well with. I mean, survive, but also, I mean, there's a few of these guys that can afford to run around not at the front. I mean, Dean Demmer is in a situation he hasn't been all year where he has to be at front. Normally, he's just there. Now he has to. That changes your mindset a little bit. You know, Ben Morrow, similar situation. He's been at the front most of the year, but now he has to be. Nick Trader, I'm not going to say he's 100% safe. He's comfortable.
Yeah, same here. And I just figured out nobody heard a word I was saying on the broadcast to start. So
No.
That's not good. But hi, everybody. Welcome to the Extreme Forces Racing League Transcendent Designs Xfinity Series. It's the second to last race of this season. It is a cutoff race. All the drivers in red are currently playoff drivers. Let's bring up those points once again. Happy they were at least able to hear you.
Well, that's good. I mean, they would have thought I was talking to myself.
Yeah, but I tried killing 3 minutes, but talking.
Kind of funny that they couldn't hear you when you were playing around.
Whenever Streamlabs has an update, it resets all my inputs. And I can tell you, that ain't fun.
AJ, I'd like to be your 400th subscriber, but apparently I'm 30.
Yeah, you kind of can't do that.
I can't subscribe again.
Well, yeah, because then it just knocks me back down and then bumps me back up. Nice try, though. Appreciate it. Not a big field here tonight, and that's going to play huge dividends when it comes to these playoff drivers that need those points. Not a lot of drivers to pass out there, as it looks like Ben Morrow's going to be your first car out on that racetrack.
I need to figure out why I don't have race car.
Maybe there was an update there too.
Oh no, it just isn't registering my setup is connected.
Well, that's not good either. They're looking at the 14 of Vern Hawkins. So let's drop down to the 13 of Ben Morrow, because he's going to be the first one to complete a lap here. He was fast in practice. Very fast in practice. First lap time, that 13 is going to go good for 23.88. Here comes Vern Hawkins with a 24.07. Jesse Adams goes P3. Dylan Dunford in the 94 with tracks on the car. Oh, he's going to get loose out of turn 4. That's going to wipe this lap. '41 of Dean Demmer crossing the line. First lap, he'll go P3, a 24.16. Jesse Adams is then just going to bump him. Jump back to the 41 of Dean Demmer. Oh, he got loose out of 4. That could have cost him some time. It did not. P1. 23.77. Here come the heavy hitters. First is the 56 of Nick Trader. That first lap is going to go P5. And number 8 of Randy Howell on his second lap right here, TJ. Trying to get everything figured out there, pal?
I mean, maybe? Sort of?
Does
you
Nick
maybe
improve?
should, maybe should just double check that subscriber number.
Did you make a YouTube?
Make? No, I wouldn't. Jay, log into an alternate Google email and go to YouTube? Maybe.
Oh, look,
I
we're
have-
sitting at 400. Only 600 more to go before the features start to open up. Drew Trader goes P4, but we'll get there.
Matt Cochran has manually disconnected. I don't think that's gonna.
That's a no bueno. Paul Irvin, the only driver on the racetrack right now. Can he improve from 11th place? Out of 4 to the line. Does the 48 goes to 10th? But welcome, everybody. You're tuning in to All-Star 15 TV. And right here at Iowa Speedway, it is the playing in the corn 128, because dyslexia just happened there. Wow. Just so everybody knows, obviously, night race. Tires, they're going to get 5 sets, so there's going to be 4 waiting for them in the pits. And then we have a stage break at lap 50 for a completion at 150.
Should be a fun race. This place is, I mean, you look at your lap times there, you know this place is pretty quick. 23 seconds on a qualifying burner lap, so you're going to probably average around a 24 for a while.
Brian, we will do our best to keep you updated on points. I wish iRacing had a feature where it would do it itself.
Or we were smart enough to set one up for ourselves.
I would need a second computer that ran the algorithm.
All I can picture right now is Zach Galifianakis with all sorts
Oh, shut
of
up.
math equations like all around his brain.
It heard. Nobody else on the racetrack for qualifying, and that is going to end qualifying. And what do you know? Our top 6 drivers are going to be playoff drivers. Let's hit that beautiful grid button. And starting on the pole, the driver of the number 41 Carhartt Chevy Camaro. It's Dean Demmer. And outside pole, you have Nick Trader. In row number 2, you have Ben Morrow and Drew Trader. In row 3, you have Vern Hawkins and Jesse Adams. Row 4, Forrest Smith and Randy Howe. Rounding out the top 10 in row number 5, it's Adam Capps and Paul Irvin. And then rounding out the rest of the field, you have Dylan Dunford, Michael Steele, Joe Darnell, and if Matt Cochran gets back in the session, he will be rolling off in the 14th position.
I have not seen him reconnect yet, so it is definitely an awaited moment.
Ruh-roh.
We actually had Drew disconnected. I don't know if that was planned or not.
Some people do it to just get a fresh connection.
Yeah, not a bad call. I mean, as long as you're not worried.
We will
about not
get
getting
2
back
pace laps here tonight, DJ. So while we're about to start gridding, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for the start of the Playing in the Corn 128.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
We're back, everybody, and we are rolling. Looks like Matt Cochran did not make the start if he joins back, which makes it even harder for the playoff drivers to gain points on each other with only having 5 non-playoff drivers.
Yeah, that stage tonight, AJ, could become very, very, very important.
Yeah, and that will be at lap 50, a third of the way through the race tonight. But thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm AJ Capola, TJ Barnier in the broadcast booth for the second to last time of the season. But we'll be back. We ain't going nowhere.
They, some of these guys that are behind might have to make up half of their point total right here in the stage.
Well, for the most part, you could fit every single playoff driver in that realm of stage points.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you need to cut 6 points off, you might have to earn 3 here and 3 in the race. It's going to be that tight for these guys to try to gain with such a small field.
Everybody, here goes the pace car, and we are green here at Iowa Speedway.
Playing in the corn, we shall be. The 41 takes off as expected. 55 a little slower in the back. That's a big battle to watch. The 55 in relation to the 41 and the 13. Those are direct competitors for that fourth and final spot. That is going to be a battle to watch all night.
Now, I'll pull up the points because, honestly, it kind of fits perfectly from on the tower. The battle you're really looking for is Jesse Adams, Ben Morrow, and Dean Demmer.
Yeah, and right now, I think if the race were to end as it is, Demmer, I do
on
believe,
lap 3.
would bump Adams.
He would. That's going to be a while. We still have a lot of laps to go, pal.
We got a lot of laps, I'm just saying.
Ben Morrow's looking for second underneath the 56.
He has been digging hard down there, but these guys in the top, I think, are going to prevail.
Well, another thing to think about Iowa is you will burn your tires off fast. You need to protect them. And you will save them by running that inside lane over the long run. So if you think we're going to have a long run, you look for a lot of drivers to be using that inside because the top is the fast lane here.
Yeah, and it's kind of a unique place. It's obviously got more banking than a place like Richmond where you can actually use that outside lane and be quick. But it's a similar design as Richmond. I don't know, maybe it's something to do with the corn. It just makes this place special.
As you see Ben Morrow get loose, Vern Hawkins looking to the inside of the 25 of Drew Trader.
He's another one, Vern, that's got to have a real good night here. He's probably got one of the more larger gaps to try to make up. Him and Paul Irving, they're having issues early on last week at Talladega. Really, really hurt him try to make this Final Four run. AJ, if you had told me in the beginning of the year it would come down to Iowa Speedway with the 8 drivers we had, I don't think I would have been totally surprised, but I definitely would have been going, man, I didn't think it would have been this tight.
Absolutely. 100%. There's 1 or 2 drivers in this round of 8 wasn't really expecting, but with how the season progressed, they really started showing up in that standings and the results of each race and, proved why they're here and everything.
We see the 41 doing a little more of that bottom chasing. He might be on the tire save strategy.
Yeah, well, he can't do it 56. Here.
No, the 56 crossed him up. I'd be interested to see. I think the 41 is naturally going to power back around him here. Interested to see where the 41 this turn will go. He was on the bottom the last time. He's going to hang tight on the outside. 14 taking a look on the 56 down the front straightaway.
That 100% opened the door for Vern Hawkins to shoot the half there. Trader just followed Dean Demmer into turn 3.
And Hawkins made it work. We saw the 56 not be able to do it to the 41, but the 14 does it to the 56. Obviously, these guys are in a different situation. The 14 is in full tilt go mode. The 56 is in I can ride right here all night and have a shot at a championship by the end of it. You have to know your ebbs and flows. The 14 cannot afford to give an inch. Can't wreck it. Don't want to wreck it, but cannot afford to give an inch.
Yeah, Vern needs to win this race and everybody to have a really bad night.
One thing you can do on lap 12 is lose it. You certainly will not win it. As it looked like he got a little loose there.
And that's one thing about Iowa Speedway. These laps will click off very fast. We're looking at about 24 seconds a lap.
Couple drivers already complaining the car has a mind of its own.
Yeah, early on in practice, I had the driver chat open so I could hear what they were saying. A lot of them were fighting very, very tight race cars until it wasn't tight anymore. It was extremely loose, and we saw a lot of cars, whether it was the turn 4 wall or the turn 2 wall, they were basically trying to push out the track a couple feet. As you guys saw, Randy Howell, as he crossed the start-finish line, popped the wall.
Yeah, this place, I mean, that's one of the advantages, I think, to running an upper line here is it gives you a better turn off the corner. Sounds like the 13 may have got the wall hard, AJ, and might be experiencing major issues.
See if we can get a look. Doesn't look like there's any damage on the right side of that 13. We'll keep an eye on it.
I know he had a run-in a couple laps ago with the 25 car. I mean, like you said, it doesn't look killed, but he's reporting that it is killed. I'm back on lap 12. These guys were under a blanket, and yeah, he caught the wall pretty good out of 2. Or out of 4.
That's the 13, currently running in 6th place. Ben Morrow, playoff driver, tied right now with Dean Demmer, but they were both stuck at 20:44 coming into the race. If that 13 keeps going backwards, he's going to start losing more and more spots.
AJ, a little look at the YouTube chat. I do believe Marcy is wishing us a happy Thanksgiving. We wish one back to you as well.
Have a very nice, happy Thanksgiving as a parent this year.
I hope you guys got the little turkey like head that you put on the baby, because I'd love to see a picture.
Do we have a lead change here?
We have a battle for it. I don't believe it's going to happen. 14 dug real hard, but could not complete.
Going into turn 3, absolutely. Oh!
Now that is a very interesting move for 20 laps into a 150 lap race.
Don't think there's any damage on the 41 at all. I don't think he clipped the wall either.
No, but I bet you there's certainly a bruised ego. I think that's one you log that, you remember that, and maybe remember it late. The biggest thing here is he does not want to drive back up there and do it again, because then it turns into another thing, and before you know it, the two of them are playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots at the front of the racetrack.
Absolutely, and Dean's there, and he is pushing hard.
He, I'm sure right now, is pretty hot under the collar.
And there's the little bump there.
That was probably I did not appreciate that, sir. Didn't appreciate it more that you didn't say anything about it. Kind of bump. I just hope the two of them can remember that there is still 126, 27 laps to go.
Looking at this battle back here, this is for 6th. Ben Morrow on that outside with Randy Howe to the inside. Looking to move up another spot is that 8. But we are not done up at the front of this field.
That would have been a lead change. I believe that 41 led that lap.
Looking for the crossover.
I tell you, AJ, if I'm the 56 here, I maybe back off just a hair.
No kidding.
I don't want to get a part of it because these two, if they keep it up, they are going to wreck each other.
And I think Nick might have heard you a little bit.
That or he's just being very aware for when these two decide it's the next little go around is. I certainly wouldn't want to be very close to him when it happens. All you need is for them to start spinning away somewhere and you get caught up in it and potentially end up with more damage than them. It seems like they may have separated just a skosh now. I say that in the 41 kind of...
Looks like he's trying to diamond the turn. But we got to drop back to that 5th position because here comes Paul Irvin up 5 spots early on in this race, looking to get underneath the 25.
Another driver that has to have a big gain night. Can ill afford to be at the rear of the field at the end of the stage and at the end of the race. You know, Jesse Adams has fallen to 11th. That is going to open up that 4th spot very, very much. Yep. Make it a liability for swapping a driver in or out.
Looks like Ben Morrow's been able to stop the bleeding right here at that 6th position. He just needs to keep that car clean from now on.
And I mean, it's not to say that Randy Howe isn't in a you know, much better of a position. He's holding his ground on the track, but he only had 8 points to give to, say, Ben Morrow and Dean Demmer. So he needs to make sure he kind of manages his gap before he ends up, you know, possibly costing himself the points he needs to move. I mean, he was sitting, obviously the 48 and the 14 they're in Hail Mary. You know, they need chaos to help them out as it happened to them at Talladega. But Paul Irving, Dean Demmer, Ben Morrow, even Jesse Adams, you know, they're talking, those guys are within 8 points of each other, possibly to swap 3rd and 4th out. I think it gets a little tougher for Nick and Drew Trader, and as good as they have ran late, it's going to be really hard to get them to drop a ton of points here. I mean, I assume EFRL, I without looking at the rule book, I don't remember. I assume they award points similar to NASCAR where it's typically a spot a point.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Ben Morrow right now has given up 5 points on the racetrack to Dean Demmer alone. Out of the 8 he had in the lead, if the stage were to end right now, that's that much closer that battle is.
And Vern and Nick Trader are battling on the racetrack right now, and that is starting to open up a hole towards P1 Dean Demmer.
Yeah, and I mean, he of all people really needs to see that battle continue and just keep running his race, keep running it clean, hit his marks, get away from these guys, and that'll help his night immensely. I'm really kind of surprised the 56 and the 14 are battling as much as they are. You know, if something were to go wrong there, the 56 is sitting really good in points and could ill afford, you know, that any sort of incident. I mean, he's not on him, but he's there. They were door-to-door not that long ago.
DJ, the stream chat is looking at you right now.
Are they now?
And by himself, Vern is the faster car between Demmer and himself. just about a tenth. It's when they start battling, it really looks like the 41's able to, adjust, hit the line better, but, clean air is key here as well.
Marcy's ordering a turkey outfit. That's awesome. I hope it gets there in time.
Don't pay the crazy shipping costs to get it there for Turkey Day. There goes Paul Irvin underneath the 25.
That's true. You can always post it a day later or a couple days late. No one's going to care.
48's loose. Good save, but it looks like he's going to lose a position because of it. 2 positions.
Got to gather it back up, get it back moving forward.
And something has happened with Forrest Smith.
Yeah, he is manually disconnected about 8 laps ago.
And that's going to close it up even more.
That's 2 drivers now that possibly could have been up in here, or, had there been a crash, may have swayed the points some. It's now down to 12 drivers, talking 11 points, the maximum you could gain here.
Michael Steele, Jesse Adams out of turn 4, side by side.
And you wouldn't think this is a big battle. But in Jesse Adams' case, this is a huge battle. Every point for him will matter to get to that final round. He has done enough this year, AJ, in both rounds to just get moved forward. I don't know if just enough to move forward will be enough tonight, as he now is the only one of the playoff 8 not in the top 8, as he's just behind Dunford. Well, I say just behind. Position-wise, he's just behind. On track, it's like second.
Back here
And
to
I think
the
he
5th
might
position.
Just taking a look at the position tracker, I do believe he has slid back the furthest of anybody from the front.
Yeah, I think there's like a 7-second gap between 8th and 9th place. Paul Irvin to the inside of Ben Morrow through 1 and 2.
They are approaching the stage break.
Yeah, it looks like about 9 to go. That 13 is playing very evasive maneuvers as he is loose coming out of 4.
He knows how important that point is. He knows he needs to get that spot and possibly get back to the other trader and get that one. But now he's under fire by the 8 car. And, if he's not careful too, the 94 is not exactly far behind these guys. Every time I see the front of that car from the right angle of the cameras,
looks like a
I still
McDonald's
think
car.
it's McDonald's. It looks like a McDonald's car. I know it's not, but that's what the image in my mind.
Hey, TJ, Rambler's asking where's the chaos? Oh, we almost
chaos?
had it earlier.
Give it time, my friend. We did have the leaders trading blows already once tonight.
Yeah, they were going for haymakers.
I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this thing they're doing it again.
Vern Hawkins and Nick Trader right now just under a blanket.
Yeah, this back 4th through 7th, or even 8th, really, they're all just kind of single file, but they're right on top of each other, waiting for one other to slip up and make a mistake and try to capitalize to gain a spot.
Randy is trying so hard on that inside lane, but every time he steps on that gas to get going out of turn 4, he's getting loose And here comes Paul Irvin trying to shoot underneath the 13.
Yeah, he made a real aggressive move down the front straightaway. He knows he's got to get forward here. Some of these other guys can just pick up a point here or there and might be able to make it to the Final Four. He needs to pick up points big time. I wouldn't even be surprised if at the end of this race, if there's a possibility of strategy play, he takes that to do anything to try to offset his fortune. Really digging that bottom, trying to get anything to work, but you can see the car just not have the drive off.
Not at all.
Oh, he gets real tight on the 8 there. He was pushing up hard. I don't know if the 8 saw it or if the 8 himself had an issue. Now that's brought the 94 into the conversation. He's trying to play spoiler and steal some points from these guys. Whoa, 13, big out of shape. That's really going to hurt him. 3 wide right now. That's not going to work on corner exit, boys. Figure it out. Woo, that was tight. You wanted chaos. That's about as chaotic as it's been so far. That was scary.
Randy still looking for another position under Paul Irvin through 3 and 4, heading back to the line.
They're going to take the white here. It's the completion of 51. They got a lap to try to make a move.
You mean the completion of 50?
Or whatever, yeah, that one.
I got you, fam. I got you.
You'll know. The 13, I think, might have... Man, he is falling right off. That car is not liking him right now.
Not at all. Dunford underneath the 8.
Not going to be enough. The caution has been called, AJ. They haven't actually been able to manually throw it yet. There it is. I think they're having an issue with race control tonight. Not sure he's here. I don't know what's going on. But I do believe Drew had to throw that.
And that's going to get the 41 the stage.
That's big. That's big for his hopes. Slow up, boys.
Yeah, now you cannot make a mistake on pit road.
No, you just worked. We're on pit road here. There was a conversation. I couldn't quite make out what was being conversed, but there was a talk about something.
Thanks, TJ.
Well, I mean, they were discussing something, and somebody was going to get points they should have had and didn't, or I don't know. I don't know if somebody pitted early. Couldn't quite. Conventional logic didn't follow the conversation enough for me to understand what's happening. Put it that way. .48 with a good stop here. I don't know if he took shorted something. He's going to gain a ton of spots. I believe he came in like 6th. He's going to exit 4th.
Yeah, he comes out 4th. But let's run down the order on how everybody goes through pit road. Demmer in first, coming out first. Hawkins second to second. Trader from third to third. You have Paul Irvin from 6th to 4th. Randy Howe from, I think, 5th to 5th. And then Dylan Dunford, I think, went from 4th to 6th. With that battle at the end of the stage. Well, TJ, less than 100 laps to go. And it's going to get crazy, pal.
I think they were talking. The issue might be with the 2-car or something. I don't know.
What happened with the 2-car? Did he pit early? TJ's trying to
They
figure
are
it out.
not choosing.
They aren't, because it looks like they are. And Ben Morrow is back on pit road. Wonder if he's going the top off.
Something about they were talking about clearing black flags. Drew, Ben asked something about being able to clear black flags, and Drew said, "I don't have a button set up to clear black flags all at once." So I think that's why they're not choosing.
Oh, well, it looks like they did, and we're about to go green, TJ.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the 13 here is gonna cycle back. He's right at the tail, so he won't lose. He'll be with him, but he lost spots, obviously.
Green flag back in the air, and we are a go for stage 2 at Iowa Speedway.
41 with a good launch. 14 trying to ride that momentum on the top side. 56 trying to dig the bottom. Not gonna have the ground he needs. Oh, somebody really hit the wall back there. I think it was Dunford.
It was Dunford. He popped that sucker hard.
It was a real unique camera there. I liked how it was showing us like down the wall until you saw Dunford fly off the wall. Then it kind of hurt.
Here it is, TJ. Off of 1 and 2. He's just going to get tight.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That was big contact.
Uh-oh. Looks like we had an issue with Michael Steele.
Might have had an issue with Adam and Dunford as well.
No, he clips the apron, gets loose, goes towards the inside of the track, and doesn't hit anything.
Oh, no, Michael. Good job not to hit anything, pal, but I know that's not how you wanted this night to go for you.
Joe Darnell with an issue as well in the 12 out of turn 4.
Cold tires, AJ.
Through the grass to pit road.
Like I said, they're talking like Adam and Dunford, Adam Capps and Dunford might have had an issue, AJ. I don't know if you can find it. They were apologies were being had.
Take a look.
Right in front of whatever happened there with. That didn't look anything wrong.
Unless it hasn't happened yet.
Oh, right well, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Wow, TJ. Get out of my head, pal.
J&J Security, everybody. J&J Security.
Get out of my head. Gonna have a battle for the lead again. Vern Hawkins all over the back bumper, the number 41.
I mean, his job tonight may just be to make it uncomfortable for that 41. That may be how he has to try to point his way forward. He also needs to take into account, though, that Randy Howe is not having the best night out there, which means that third spot of the Final Four will probably be a position that moves. So you don't necessarily need to just get to the 4th spot of the Final Four. You may have that 3rd spot open up. So you just need to keep your nose clean. I mean, the situation with Verns is a little different because of how far back they were after the crash at Talladega. I mean, essentially, AJ, I know you play Dungeons & Dragons. They needed a 20 die on that Talladega race, and they rolled Snake Eyes. That's right, everybody. I just made a Dungeons & Dragons reference on a racing.
Yeah, but TJ, you don't even roll those kind of dice. You roll a d20.
Shh, quiet. No one needs to know, AJ. I only use D20s for life, pal. And if you know, you know. What are you, inside of a tent?
No, I got my dog next to me, and he literally has a tent.
I was gonna say, what did you just sit that goddamn thing into?
Well, no, it's his little topper. It's where all his toys are and everything, and he just goes in there and chills. It's like an inside doghouse.
Oh, so it's like a dog cave for a dog would be a man cave for a man. Gotcha.
Yeah, but his is too big for a tiny dog.
Well, I mean, you could say a regular sized man cave would be too small for me, but that's just,
Well,
say it.
Pass for the lead. Ooh. Bad TJ.
No, I think I'm doing just fine, pal.
It's like good Deadpool, bad Deadpool.
Damn it, Wade. Good little battle here. This 14 not giving up much to this 41.
Let's jump on board with that 14.
He makes me nervous because he gets right to the back bumper, then stabs the brake. One half of my head, the owner hat's sweating. On the other half of my head, the broadcaster hat's going, man, this is make for great TV.
No, oh, yeah. Yep. Yep. But back a little further, Randy Howe, Dylan Dunford, and Ben Morrow. Where's Ben Morrow? There's Ben Morrow.
Well, I promise he hasn't got to tomorrow yet.
Really? Like Tomorrowland?
I've been waiting all year for something to say with that. I don't even know if that was the right spot for it, but it got it. He might wish it's tomorrow after the way this race has started for him. Oh, as he hits the fence again. He keeps it up. He's going to have sanded that whole right side off that car.
Hey, it might make it a little more aerodynamic. Who knows? Paul Irvin and
Certainly-
Randy Howe.
Certainly might not make it past a wit test at the post race.
This is for 4th place.
Dunford being very patient, just letting these guys kind of battle. Obviously, he's not out here for anything more than to spoil the show and steal a position. He certainly stole a position last week from our good buddy Ryan Fry, who lost by a 10,000th to him. I think the bigger question here, AJ, is do you split this final stage in half, or do you go a little longer than take less fuel, or...
Dude, I've never been a strategy person. That's why I always surround myself with people that know what the heck they're doing. There's a couple of them in the YouTube chat now.
I do believe I see who you're referring to, yes.
And Rambler, you're right. I am smart enough to not make you a admin. At least I have that. 4-car battle back here. Paul Irvin in 4th, 5th, Randy Howe, Dylan Dunford 6th, and Ben Morrow 7th. Dylan Dunford trying to spoil some dreams for some of these playoff drivers. Dylan's really rotating so well.
It's so tight at the front. These guys are still near nose to tail. And yes, Dunford is digging. I mean, he's in a good spot there to maybe pick up a spot late. We know he had a good long-run car, it seemed, anyway. Whoa! That was wild. I don't know if he hit it, but he got close.
Yeah, no kidding.
I swear, every time we're on him and it flashes that cam that's like right down the wall, he flies off the wall.
Isn't that such a great cam?
It is, but I tell you, it keeps giving me whiplash. at the front of the field. The gap between the 41 and the 14 is the greatest it's been this run. About 2 to 3 car lengths right now.
Ben Morrow really putting some pressure. As I say that, not putting pressure.
I think it's safe to say the heat is on at all ends of the racetrack right now, as we have lap traffic out in front of the leaders, probably 2 to 3 laps before they get there.
Even the blimp cam is nice.
They finally caught Michael after his spin there early. He has reported that he will move. He will move wherever they want him. Dean asked him politely to just run his line, and Michael said, "The problem with that is I've been everywhere."
Well, at least comedy's still going around.
As long as the cars aren't going around, I'm happy with it.
The difference between Dean Demmer and Michael Steele is only about 0.2 a lap. So it's not like it's that crazy, but it looks like Mike is just going to let up and give the 41 the position.
And it seems like, AJ, the one thing I've noticed the 41 has been strongest at more than anybody else is drive off. He's got a really good drive off. It's actually, saved him a couple times. Like when he had to retake the lead, he had a better drive off than that 14 car.
Gary, the stage was at lap 50. And it was won by Dean Demmer, followed by Vern Hawkins and Nick Trader.
12 car going to graciously move his way out of the battle here, but he gets real tight on that 14.
Mike, why do you have to tell me that? 'Cause now I have to. How bad? How bad is it? Oh, it's only.
I don't want to hear it.
It's only 3-2.
I don't want to hear anything. At least you guys have a goalie.
We have 3 good goalies.
Well, we have 3 goalies, but I don't know if I'd call any of them good. Remember when it used to be 1 goalie for most of the year? Now it's like goalie by committee.
Well, it's like good. Your best goalie, 2 games. Backup goalie, 1 game. 2 games, 1 game.
Yeah, well, the Canadians play a different goalie every night.
Dude,
as the 14 gets in the fence.
You used the Zamboni driver 2 games ago.
Yeah, probably.
No.
Who knows? He might have been less of a stiff than Jake Allen.
No, you did.
Oh, yeah?
He's your emergency goalie.
Interesting.
Drew Trader trying to get by the 13.
Body, just to be at a body in the net, I think I might apply for the position. Can't do any worse than they have some of these nights.
You cover the whole net. Here goes Ben Morrow right around Randy Howe. Oh, really tried making that work.
Tell you, someday they're going to figure out sumo wrestlers. They've already got the squat down. They take up 90% of the goal. They wouldn't have to move a whole lot. Get me one of those to be my goalie.
Mr. Crew Chief in the YouTube chat, Gary Wells, who is a amazing crew chief, but also another amazing broadcaster who you can hear on Wednesday nights right here on All-Star 15 TV with myself and Mike Campiggio, who is also in the YouTube chat.
Shameless plug.
I don't know why I thumbs up the camera. Nobody can see me.
I mean, you could turn it on, but,
No, I don't want to scare people.
I was going to say the glare might, shine them away. AJ's looking at me with extreme distaste right now.
I'm not. You right.
I'm glad at least Gary got the heat is on reference.
Irvin and Dunford are now trying to maneuver around Michael Steele.
The next driver to fall a lap down. I'm sure he's hoping for a yellow right here to try to keep him alive. This I mean, I guess technically until they get to the next guy, which is going to be a while, you know, he'd be kind of safe, but he could not afford this run, and it is unfortunately where his fortunes have taken him this evening. Jesse Adams needed a real good run to try to get into that Final Four, and
You know,
he's
honestly,
next victim of
if I'm
lap
Jesse
traffic
Adams,
game.
I try to be the first driver on pit road.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do something.
The first driver on pit road or the last. Or
It's going to be real hard to pick up 24 seconds, though.
yeah. Yeah, as there goes Dean
Trying
Demmer
to
to
catch
put the
the yellow.
55 a lap down. That 55 is really putting a fight.
Can't blame him. I mean, this is his season right here.
The only issue that people are going to find is if a couple more drivers get knocked out of this race, Jesse Adams moves up that running order.
This is true. Any crash here, as long as he's not involved, helps him. Assuming they can't continue at least a moderate pace. But the way this is going, AJ, this other than the caution for the stage, this might go pole to pole. No caution.
Everybody in the chat, please, including myself, knock on wood.
No! Stop it! We need chaos, baby! We need that chaos! No knocking on wood!
Even if it messes up your driver. Got it. Cool. Randy Howe, Ben Morrow, and there's the 25 of Drew Trader.
AJ, you know me. I want chaos above all.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware.
Some people just like to watch the world burn.
All right, Alfred. It's a great battle back here for 6th. All 3 playoff drivers. And just throwing it out there, that 25 is really trying to drive the wheels off that car.
I tell you, I
ain't
bet you
saving anything.
he is the happiest that he got that cushion he got last week. Not having a great race, not a bad race, but not having a great race, and that cushion's really gonna, you know, have been his saving grace here.
Yeah, he just passed Randy Howe. We are on board with the 25 of Drew Trader.
Looks kind of bumpy out there.
Yes.
I don't know the exact age of this surface, but I know I seem to like some of the races it produces.
Well, Cup is going here next year, TJ.
I think that'll be a real fun race as long as they can figure out their other short track issues.
Even Marcy's saying, chaos, chaos, chaos.
See, this is the effect I've had on the world. Everybody's chomping at the bit for a little bit of chaos.
48 of Irvin and Dunford, for the 4th position. Now the fun part is, if we have green flag pit stops, we talked about having the pit perfectly under caution, but trying to get down to pit speed at Iowa is not easy at all. We raced here Wednesday for the Sim 500. Oh! 94 was trying to drift.
I mean, hey, you know.
Somebody watched Fast and Furious.
Just gonna rename it NASCAR, baby. National Association of Stock Car Auto Drifting.
Well, that was so easy. Did you have that?
I may have used that line once or twice before.
Okay. But no, getting on the pit road is a pain in the butt. We had 2 drivers on Wednesday just miss pit road completely.
Yeah, it comes up quick. I mean, it's you know, like similar to Richmond
Or
it's
Dover.
Very Dover. Oh, I hate Dover.
Yep, figured.
I love the track, but man, getting on pit road there, it's like if you don't just get woed up going into 3, you're liable to mess that all up.
But we are cruising right along, almost at 100. Adam Capps on pit road.
Kind of figured this is around where we would see it. I mean, if they think they can go roughly 50-ish laps. They didn't quite have 50 off of the stage. I would very curious to see how long this 41 keeps it out there. Obviously, the longer you go here, it might not be as
Randy
comfortable
Howe
here, but
on pit road.
should be more comfortable on the backside of this run.
And tires aren't going to be an issue. They've only used 2 sets. They still have 3 in the pits. If they haven't
you had
yet.
the set you started on,
And then
that
4
you
more.
put on at the stage. You'll be going to get your 3rd set.
So they're going to have enough Goodyear Eagles down in pit road.
3rd and probably final, honestly. I mean, they've got 5. I doubt they even get to those back 2.
Unless we have cautions.
Well, correct. But even then, I mean, unless you get like a caution halfway through and then another caution within 10 to go, I doubt you're pulling out both sets of tires. And it's obviously going to take a bit to get a caution to be thrown here because we already saw 2 drivers spin. They just went spinning off to the bottom. So
Jesse
no
Adams just going to loop it on pit road.
He is currently blocking the entrance. Nobody, if they had wanted to, would be able to get on. It looks like he's going to get going before anybody else tries.
And that's what you would be afraid of coming to pit road.
You can see the difference. The 2 car as he approaches the 41.
56 on pit road.
I think the 41 is he's got to go here soon. Maybe let this 2 car get clear of him and then find his way down there and go get some fresh Goodyear Eagles.
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh,
here
yep.
he is.
Get it woed up, nice and slow. Don't speed. Don't head for that wall.
Oh!
As the 14 almost did too. Wow.
Paul Irvin's going to stay out and lead that lap.
I believe that's a bonus point.
I believe
that. I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah, I feel like our chat's going to fill up with those. I shouldn't have said that.
Something about Cadillacs and pooping stools is all I'm going to reference.
Paul Irvin currently a race leader, followed by Ben Morrow and Drew Trader, your top 3.
41 down and away, still out ahead of the 14, but real tight, those 2. A lot closer than I thought it would have been the way they were running. 56 to their outside. He's going to clear the 14. The 41 for the moment's maintaining it. The 56 with the big run, I imagine, out of this turn. 41 slams the door shut.
Here comes the 56 to the inside. Cold tires for both of them.
Yeah, I would imagine the 41's going to get this big run here as the 56 can't quite pull off the slide job. He was so close.
Gonna send it into turn 3. Try to clear the 41 with the slide job.
Big run coming. I think the 41 smartly just going to dive it back down below him. Big run off the turn. Not going to clear him himself, but that was a big move. Oh, as they are now close, he's if he tried to do it again, I don't think he would have had an issue to get ahead of him, but he's going to, I think, just try to run that bottom right now. Don't want to overdo these tires like this. Get yourself in trouble. Man, oh man, they are tight. Oh, he's close. He could go for it right now. If he went for it, he could have closed the door. I don't know if he knew he had that option. This is interesting. Are these guys still out on old tires, AJ?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, where do you go here?
Well, look who's right in front of the 56.
Oh, and the 56 and the 41 are touching, and the 25's in the wall big!
25 tried to get out of the way for the other trader and puts it in the wall doing it.
41, is he going to shut the door? He does! The 56 with the run this time back to the bottom. Not as far up on him as he would like to be. He's going to lean on him a little. Not a lot. That's very good tight racing, but the 56 loses the nose. Ooh. That's my ooh noise. I've killed AJ, everybody. I hope you weren't taking a drink, because if you did, the dog's wearing it at the moment.
I was not.
And just like that, the battle that was wild and crazy is back between two other drivers, almost a second behind.
I'm okay. Drew Schrader on pit road after smacking the wall out of turn 2, trying to give way.
5 car smartly just going to get out of these guys' way, let them battle.
Oh, God. Man, you aren't kidding, TJ. That view looking down the back straightaway at all those cars almost pancaking the wall out of 2. Ugh.
Now you get back into rhythm mode. Find your rhythm, find what you had, run this race out. Still a good amount of laps left, but obviously you can make it. Don't need to worry about tire and fuel. Just hit your marks and try to gain everything you can gain.
Hey, TJ, I kind of want to throw this out there. Just think about that battle we just had between the 41 and the 56. Chewed through those Goodyear Eagles. Watch that 14 in the next 10 laps.
Might have chewed through his Eagles, or at least chewed through his shorts. That's for sure. That was a pucker factor of about 11 there for a hot minute. Thing is the way they're running right now, the 41 really doesn't need to win the race. It would be nice. I'm sure the confidence boost of carrying a win forward, and this would be 3 in a row restrictor plate race for him. That's a lot. That's a big confidence boost headed to the final race. But again, the points right now do not dictate that's what you need to do.
Yeah, Jesse Adams is running in that 12th position, and Ben Morrow's in that 7th position. Just to give you guys a look, if you're just joining us, these were the points as they started tonight's race.
Yeah, Randy Howe with an 8-point lead over the 2 cars that were tied in Ben Morrow and Dean Demmer. And he has finished, he's currently running 5th, but had finished, I think, a little further down in the stage. So, I mean, he's that gap has probably been eaten up. You know, him not leading a lap, that's another lap, another point for the 41. I think the 14's led a lap. That's another point there.
It's more of, you're looking for Jesse Adams at this point. Randy Howe might be okay if he finishes in that 4th position. Actually, I'll say he's probably okay sitting in that 4th position, finishing. But Jesse Adams all the way back in that 11th position, 1 lap down, while Ben Morrow's sitting in 6th and Dean Demmer is leading that 55. You know, they mentioned sweating bullets in the YouTube chat. I would be sweating bullets.
I might be sweating buckets, sir.
Ugh.
I mean, and again, they knew coming in what it was. They knew the opposition they had been up against. We have not seen, you know, top 3 to 4 speed out of Jesse this year. He's certainly been top 8. Obviously, that's where he is in the point. But this elite front 3, front 4 we've seen every week, you know, you could kind of rotate it out. The 25 having the wall taps that he's had there. He's been up there. The 14's been up there. 56, 13. Every week, those guys are swapping spots at the front of the field. We knew they would be extremely tough to beat here at Iowa.
Here comes Nick Trainer starting to put the pressure on P2 Vern Hawkins. It has been this top 3 all night.
Yeah, and again, I go back to Talladega. That early incident was obviously beyond unfortunate for playoff hopes of the 14 and the 48. Had it not been for that 14 possibly was bumping that 8 car out of that last spot. But he's just, that's that far behind, near 20 points, with only 12 cars active. You're not going to make that up without, major incident.
Great battle back here, too. comes Paul Irvin.
You know, AJ, the way they run and the way I think this is going to shake out, it's going to be very similar to what we saw now 2 years ago in the Xfinity series. I believe you're going to have 3 drivers from one team, like JRM did, and 1 driver from another team, like Joe Gibbs Racing did, battling it out for a championship.
It would be scary if Vern Hawkins was in a better position, because at that point you'd have all 4 drivers from one team.
Yeah, I mean, they were exact. I mean, 1,000%. Yes, it would be very possible that they would have locked up the Final 4 amongst their own team. Granted, Dean Demmer has played spoiler this week, as we, he kind of had alluded to us off broadcast that he was going to try to do, and just go out and win the damn thing after he had that pit road entry issue last week. That cost him, essentially a lap and a good finish at Talladega. It was a very interesting Talladega race last week. I will say that for sure.
Yeah, well, it was actually a lot of fun to watch and broadcast. Wow, Vern Hawkins. I don't know what happened to that 14, but the 56 just blew right by.
He was way out of shape there.
Looked like he was about to send the 56 into turn 1 too.
I wouldn't do that. I do believe that's a team car there. I don't know if I would pull that off.
22 to go.
And AJ, I can confirm whatever is in the grapefruit colored Jack Daniels down home punch is really good tasting.
Yeah, I could have told you that, pal. Could have told you that, pal.
Don't worry, everybody. We're Ubering home from the racetrack this evening.
Yes. But this is a hell of a battle for second. I know Dean's pulling away, sitting at about 4 seconds ahead of Nick Trader. But Vern is and has been doing everything in his power tonight to get to that lead. And
yeah,
it's exactly what he had to do.
Short of just dumping people, he's done, he's run them hard. What you need to do. It's, he kind of, the way they have their format set up with only 2 races, you really cannot afford to have a single bad race. And that is exactly what unfortunately happened. He's been very fast. I wouldn't be shocked if next week, if he's here, he's playing spoiler, just trying to win the damn race ahead of all these guys battling for a title. He has shown speed week in and week out, and Talladega got him. That place will change fates, and in his case, it changed his fate for the negative.
That place will get the best of people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and again, could be by no fault of your own. In beginning of the year, how many people got caught up in stuff not of their own making? .41 around the 2 car at the front of the field.
That's Adam Capps being put a lap down. A lot of damage on the right side of that 2 Toyota Supra. Ooh! And Dean clipped the wall there too.
This is the one that's really, that Adam Capps getting past did not help, Jesse Adams in any, but when he goes 2 laps down here, that is effectively going to end his bid at a championship run this season. He's had a great year. That car, like I said, he put himself in a really good position with how he ran at Talladega to give these guys a fight tonight. They just have, it's been a slugfest all year, and ooh, they slugged all right. it's been a slugfest at the front of the field all year, and you either had the speed or you didn't at these short tracks. And I mean, I'll address the elephant in the room, if you will. Obviously, we are missing a car that was a favorite for the title, who won a lot of races. Issues happened.
Bad choices were made.
Exactly. He's no longer here. And that is unfortunate because that was going to be a really good battle, I think, through this final, stages. And it would have been really interesting to see, had he been here, how these points shook out this evening. Who was still battling, as he was, I'm pretty sure, well on his way to moving through to the next round prior to the issues that were had.
You guys know Dean Demers in first, but let's run down the rest of the field before we close out the race tonight so we can show off some of the drivers that have just been around the racetrack and putting the work in. There's Dean Demer in first. Second, you have Nick Trader. Third, Vern Hawkins. In fourth, you have Paul Irvin, Ben Morrow. In sixth, you have Randy Howe. Seventh, Drew Trader. Then you have Dylan Dunford, the first non-playoff driver in the field. Ninth, Adam Capps, Michael Steele. In 10th, Jesse Adams sitting in the 11th position. Joe Darnell in 12th. And in 13th, you have Forrest Smith, who unfortunately left the racetrack early, right around that lap 27 mark.
Yeah, I don't know if the engine gave up the ghost or what, but something did, and he was outie. The 4-car never even made the grid, so we don't know what happened there either.
We hope everything's okay at the Cochran camp. Looked like he was going to race tonight. But unfortunately didn't make the start. Didn't really make a qualifying run either. So we hope everything's okay with the 4. And hopefully we'll see him next week at Charlotte with 10 laps to go, TJ.
Yeah, I mean, we're in closeout mode now. I mean, everybody's kind of spread out enough that unless there's... What was that on your screen?
Time. I had to switch it from time to back to laps so it started giving you the go mark.
I was gonna say it. It's like a minute 50 to go. I'm like, this isn't that kind of racing.
I can have it switch between how much time is left in the session and then how many laps are left, depending on if there are both or not.
Oh, in that case, it was an hour.
An hour 50.
A lot left. Yeah,
to do 10 laps.
Could you imagine if we used up at least 50 of that for 10 laps?
I mean, CCRL at Daytona? 14?
That wasn't CCRL, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
That wasn't? I thought it was.
No, it was NUS.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
That was, we lost our chance. Ooh, big moment.
Big moment. Crash. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, no, that's not. Oh. Well, if you're gonna go home with it, you might as well go home big. Like, that might just be insult to injury, though, this evening.
That does move Jesse Adams up another position. Seven to go, coming to 6 to go. Four-and-a-half second lead over Nick Trader. But this battle, I don't think is done either. Vern Hawkins is pushing everything out of that car to get back to Nick Trader. Let's jump on board with that 14 for a lap because you can see it from a camera. He is sending it. Look how far he's pushing into the turns. He is sideways going in. He's loose right here. You could see it.
I guess the 13 had to get towed back to pit lane, AJ.
Yeah, he had to jump the pit road. That car broke. Down the back straightaway. Does Dean even try to pass the 94? As we're
I
coming
don't
to
think so.
2 to go. Dual popsicle sticks up in the air from Barney the Flagman.
If it was a scenario where he needed that lap car to help trying to create a gap, I'd say yes. But I think if he gets there, he just rides. Especially with Michael being just ahead of him as well.
Through 3 and 4, back to the line. It is the Wrestling with Nerds white flag.
He's gonna actually get around the 5 car that was just decided to let her coast around here. Not gonna push at that 94. Dean Demmer doing everything he needed to this evening to try and guarantee himself a place in the Final Four. Sweeps the stage, sweeps the race. I believe it was enough. Unofficially, I'm calling it that he's in, but we'll wait obviously for the official stuff. But
Nick Trader's going to come home P2, Vern Hawkins P3, Paul Irvin P4, Randy Howe back in P5, Drew Trader in 6th, Dylan Dunford 7th, Adam Capps in 8th, 9th goes to Jesse, Michael Steele, and then Jesse Adams in 10th. What happened to Jesse Adams? Because he was further up than that. Maybe he wasn't? Maybe it was my, I don't know.
I think that's been around where he was.
I thought he was up higher than that. All right, TJ, you want that instant reaction, right?
Sure, go get him. Dean Dimmer, you got a copy?
I got you, buddy.
Dude, I think that was everything you needed this evening. Stage, race, good run.
Yeah, sorry about the car.
Ah!
Gotta.
We didn't need that one for next week anyway.
That's all right. We got a new one for next week.
Dude, you told us last week after Talladega and the little mishap with pit road, you were going to go out and do exactly what you just did, was win the race, win the stage, virtually, and I'm saying unofficially, locking yourself in next week, shot at a championship. Was there anything making you as nervous as I was early in that race with the 14 and you were swapping paint?
I just, I was a little frustrated. I got hit. I don't know. I haven't watched the replay. I'm not going to place blame, but kind of felt like he drove into me. So I drove back into him, and that was the end of that.
I think it was just hard racing, especially from somebody who needed to do everything tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of why I gave the same energy back. I wasn't going to do the math and figure out who we needed to beat tonight. I just figured it'd be easiest to just go out and win. I definitely did not expect to get the pole and lead pretty much every lap, but we had a really fast Rocky Face Motorsport Carhartt Camaro tonight. It was a blast racing those guys, especially right out of the green flag pit stops. A lot of hard, clean racing between lap cars and us three there. So I had a lot of fun. I'm glad I could bring it home and give us a shot for a championship.
Well, you got to do it one more time next week. You know we're going to be on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, I'll do the best I can for you guys. I mean, I didn't expect to win this week, but I said I was going to, so that's the mentality I had leading up to this, pretty much after Talladega. I kind of feel like I failed myself. The race didn't really go how I wanted, and then I just made a stupid mistake coming onto pit roads and got a bunch of penalties. So I wanted to make it up for my mistake, and I think I did that.
Well, good recovery. One to go. I've got faith. I know AJ's got faith. I know Ryan's got faith. We'll hopefully Rocky's got faith too, and we'll be talking with you next week in similar capacity.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, that is the driver, the number 41 Carhartt Chevy Camaro for Rocky Faith Motorsports, winning here tonight for the Playing in the Corn 128. Let's talk to P2. It's Nick Trader. TJ, take it away.
Nick Trader, you got a copy?
What's up, guys?
I think you, sir, ran just the exact race you needed to run, nice and clean and fast at the front.
Yeah, it was a good race. Pretty much all I needed to do was have a clean race and not get caught up in anybody's BS. Pretty much knew I was locked in.
Yeah, you. I said early on tonight in the 41, we're kind of trading shots. I'm like, he might just want to back off a hair. He's good here. If they wreck each other and he just drives away, he'll be all right.
Yeah, coming from a guy who always, I guess, got mad when people doored him, and then he'd do it after the race, and then he wants to door people in the race. I just kind of find that not the right thing to do. I mean, I wasn't gonna race him dirty, but then he'd drive in the corner and run up to my door and almost pinch me in tomorrow there. It was just kind of, he knew he was faster. There's no reason to race like that. He's going to cost himself. He wasn't going to cost me anything. I was pretty much locked in after the stage. So just kind of, I think, better mindset and better driving from somebody like that. He's fast. We know it. I just expected more out of him for that.
Well, next week, I believe you guys have 3 cars going for a championship.
Yeah, me, Drew, and Randy.
So, I mean, that's a 75% chance of bringing home a title.
Yeah,
How do you feel about it?
I like Charlotte. Any mile and a half like that, I'm confident. Drew's
That's the home
confident.
track.
Randy is. Yeah, we pretty much know what we need to do. We don't want to junior motorsports it and have a bunch of cars in the playoffs and not get it.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, so I think we have a good mindset what's going to go on for next week. I'm just ready to finish up the season and take a little break from this. Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
go enjoy that turkey on Thursday.
Yeah, mine's Sunday. I don't get to have it on. We're gonna be lazy bums, me and the wife, on Thanksgiving.
There you go.
Yep.
That's
Get fat before getting fat. Let's go.
that
There
works.
you go.
I like that idea,
Yeah.
honey. Good race, Nick. Overall, great race for the team. Good playoffs for you and the team as well. I'm excited to see what Charlotte has in store for the Transcendent Designs team.
Yep. So hopefully we bring home a championship for one of us. I feel pretty confident that we will.
All right, brother. Well, great job here tonight, and good luck next week. And don't eat too much turkey where you're sleeping for the next couple days.
Oh, I'll be just fine. Don't worry. Thank you guys for the great broadcast, like usual, though, and we'll see you guys next week.
See you later, pal.
Absolutely.
I don't see Vern Hawkins, TJ, so I think we're gonna close up shop.
Yeah.
I just went through Discord and I even yeah, I don't see him. So
I was eyeballing the waiting room. I do not see him there.
let's close her up, pal. Take her home.
I mean, that race was what we expected. I mean, it was a good, hard, short track. We had some small battles. Luckily, no big incidents. We ended up with some fenders, but not, off of contact. So it kind of is what it is. It was a little weird. They couldn't choose the one time. I don't know if that really would have affected much. I'm pretty sure that for at least the leader there that got the start position, he would have preferred. I'm sure they'll get it sorted for next week. Important one, and I'm looking forward to next week. Should be a good week. Good group of guys going for a championship.
Yeah, I'm excited for Charlotte. The thing with Charlotte is, you get iRacing, you get Charlotte. Everybody runs Charlotte.
It's the home track.
If
you think about it.
I'm hoping we get a couple more drivers coming out tomorrow, Monday, to add a little more chaos, if you will. But tonight was fun. Can't wait to close out the season next week at Charlotte. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, as always. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Follow if you're on Facebook. We just hit 400 tonight, boys and girls and people out there. Let's get to 500, and then off to 1,000 we will go. But we will see you on the next broadcast, which actually it's right here, EFRL, next Monday, Charlotte Motor Speedway.
If you're south of the border, happy Turkey Day. If you're north of the border, you lucky mothers of peoples of you've already had it.
Bye, everybody.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.